This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
An exercise in futility, that's what NDTV Hindu finds out at this proposed Greenfield Airport at Sriperumbudur.
According to civil aviation norms, no spot generating any kind of bird activity can lie within 13 kilometers of an airport.
Not just environmentalists, even the Indian Navy may object to the Airports Authority of India plan. Many veterans unhappy with the project right next to a naval air base.
Naval Air Station Rajali, INS Arakonam, that itself is located quite close by.
Jayalalitha's election bandwagon continues to roll. She gets 2 new parties on board, all in a bid to wean away Dalits and Muslims from the DMK. Police finally arrest the man who killed this woman. The reason being he was denied sex by her, so he killed her. As the city gets its dose of intermittent rainfall, it's literally raining mosquitoes on the city. Well, a very good evening. It's 8 on the clock. Time for headlines now with me, Sai Manish. Sometimes some things in life are meant to be doomed, jinxed as they are from the start. And when you have the Airports Authority of India with its characteristic lack of foresight in the picture, you can be rest assured things will go wrong. Now, the proposed Greenfield project in Sriperumbudur is one fine example of how the Airports Authority of India has rubbed everybody, right from environmentalists to even the Indian Armed Forces, the wrong way, and is planning to go ahead with the project and spending, in fact, more than 10 crores on just a feasibility plan for a project that's being opposed tooth and nail by everyone, right from the Indian Navy to the Air Force, even some aviation experts. That's a big story we'll be getting you in a bit, but let's have a look at the national headlines. No one will be spared. That's Sonia Gandhi reiterating Prime Minister Manmohan Singh's line on the Commonwealth Games scam. Mamata Banerjee spews venom in Parliament, says she can be a minister, but she is no more than a clerk in the Railways Ministry.
Is trying their best. I am nobody. I am just working as cleric clerk.
Now, if that was not shocking enough, Sharad Pawar says it's not possible to give free rotting food grains to the poor. Pakistan should accept the aid offered by India. That's the message from Obama to Pakistan. And check out this super stunt by Roger Federer, but please do not try this at home. Now, apart from all the uproar, the political focus and the battle over land acquisition for the proposed Greenfield project in Sriperumbudur, there are doubts being raised by civil aviation experts over the very sensibility and practicality of having another airport for Chennai, that too in that proposed site in Sriperumbudur. And this after the Airport Authority of India has given its thumbs up for the airport at that site. NDTV Hindu probes the feasibility of this project.
It's not just the fury of the people and political infighting that are causing turbulences for the proposed Greenfield Airport in Chennai. There are safety issues involved in the very idea of constructing an airport at this spot in Sriperumbudur. First, it's the proximity to the Vedantangal Bird Sanctuary.
According to civil aviation norms, no spot generating any kind of bird activity can lie within 13 kilometers of an airport. Now, the Vedantangal Bird Sanctuary does not lie in that 13-kilometer radius, but experts say that the migratory path of the birds which flock to Vedantangal during winter is such that it will almost definitely pass through the Sriperumbudur area, which also houses a lake.
And that is not just a safety issue, but could also lead to a potential ecological disaster. Moreover, there are 3 nearby installations which will create a problem for an airport at this site. This is where the new airport is to be constructed. On one side is the Arakonam Naval Air Base INS Rajali, and on the other side is the Tambram Air Force Base. If the present Chennai airport remains, then that will also be near the site. Experts say these air facilities near the planned airport will only allow a narrow corridor for flights to land and could lead to accidents. The Airports Authority of India has given a go-ahead to this project, but experts rubbish this green signal.
I think it is just something done to please someone in power. It is not based on safety or what is required as per ICAO standards.
The International Civil Aviation Organization is yet to submit its pre-feasibility report, which has been due for over a year now, perhaps indicating that the site is not safe enough for an airport. Ramanathan for NDTV Hindu.
But then environment, let's just tell you, is just one part of it. And NDTV Hindu's Ramanathan also gives you a lowdown on why the Indian Navy and the Air Force will be terribly uncomfortable with the idea of having this greenfield airport right in their operational domain. Take a look at this lowdown.
There are three major hurdles when it comes to the location of the proposed airport, and that due to the existence of the three air bases near the proposed site. The INS Rajali Naval Air Base to its west, the Tambram IAF base to its southeast, and the Chennai Airport to its east. The first hurdle, the evident lack of foresight by the Airports Authority of India, might have rubbed the Indian Armed Forces the wrong way. This new airport is right next to INS Rajali, a key base from where the Navy's Tupolovs, the soon-to-be inducted Poseidons, keep an eye over the entire littoral area of the Bay of Bengal and the Indian Ocean. That means naval air controllers will have to constantly communicate with their civilian counterparts to prevent trespassing. Now, the second big hurdle, the aviation experts have pointed out, and something you would be easily able to comprehend, is the clutter effect. Flights approaching and landing from the proposed greenfield airport have no clear front. This translates into constant communication between air traffic controllers, and not just the Navy and the airport, but also the two airports itself. Now, add to that the no-fly zone over the Tambram Air Force Station and the lack of infrastructure and technology to deal with such heightened flight activity. Now, what does this mean for pilots? The third hurdle. The scenario is as nightmarish for pilots as it is for air traffic controllers. With a naval airbase on one side, the bustling commercial airport and a no-fly zone on another, and thus little room to play around, the pilot will have to do an extremely steep descent. Landing is accomplished by slowing down and descending to the runway gradually. This might not be possible here, thus increasing the chances of human error or equipment failure leading to accidents. With Sai Manish, Ramanathan for NDTV Hindu.
Well, that was as simple as it could get, but to further simplify things and to give you a perspective on what this means, joining us on Headlines now this evening are Commodore Vasan, the Head of Security and Strategy Studies at the Center of Asian Studies. Also joining us will be Captain Mohan Ranganathan, one of the most respected aviation voices in the country. Welcome to the show, both of you. Sir, my first question, in fact, goes across to Commodore Vasan. Commodore Vasan, if you can hear me there. A simple question with no twists and turns, in fact. Do you think the new greenfield airport is a good idea?
Well, as I know, you are referring to the Sri Perumbudur airfield, which is going to come up. There are a lot of plans and a lot of feasibility studies that are being carried out. The ground reality is that it's not far from Arakonam, and Arakonam has the naval air station, the largest naval air station in India, and they operate the long-range maritime aircraft, the Tu-142. They also have the helicopter training school out there, and this is going to pose operational problems in terms of sharing of airspace. I quite recollect the fact that we had initial problems in Rajali when we commissioned that base way back in '92, and we had to get the ATC officials and the Airport Authority of India people all the way from Chennai to sit down with us at Arakonam and work out the modalities by which we could share the airspace. On principle, it's a good idea to have many more airfields and connectivity in India, but in this specific case, I think the location, the choice of place is something that raises many questions in terms of interoperability, in terms of complications of airspace where we are expecting higher traffic density. So there are serious issues out there. It may not be a very good idea in my opinion.
Right, Commodore Vasan, you hold on there. In fact, Captain Mohan Ranganathan would now join us. Sir, you heard Commodore Vasan there. Now, Captain Ranganathan, you're one person who's been opposing even the second runway in the existing airport. Now, I'll put the same question across to you also, sir. Do we need another airport for the city, and that too where so many interests are in conflict with each other?
See, we don't have traffic even for this airport we have, not even for the second runway which they are sinking so much money in. we are not going to be getting the increase in traffic that they are all projecting, because we have Bangalore and Hyderabad which generate more traffic. So we do not have the requirement for another major airport near Chennai.
Right, right. In fact, Commodore Vasan, if you can join me again there. You are a veteran, of course, and you know the intricacies of how tough a civilian airport and a naval base, air base, in fact, if they coexist, the problems that will be faced by all air traffic controllers in what sense. But put across in simple words to our viewers here, what exactly, why is the Navy seeing red with this proposed idea?
No, as I highlighted earlier, we are looking at a scenario where more than 3 or 4 airfields are going to be in a radius of about 30 nautical miles. I'm talking about the international airfield in Chennai. I'm talking about Tambaram, which is being operated by the Air Force. I'm looking at Arakonam, which has the Naval Air Station. I'm also looking at the new Greenfield Airport that is being proposed with the Sri Perambudur. So we are looking at managing airspace within this geographic area, which is going to have 4 airfields flying different type of aircraft with different specifications, and also in a climate where we are expecting a very high traffic density. We already had many near misses in Bombay, close to Delhi, close to Bangalore, and all this is happening because of the way we manage our airspace. So I think we should not be complicating matters for the people who are in the business. We should make it easy for them. This is possible today, of course, with the technology levels that are available, plus a certain amount of operational procedures that are integrated. But I think that from the naval point of view, we also know that they are going to replace the Tu-142M aircraft, which is presently located in Rajali, with a better Boeing-based aircraft called the Poseidon. P-8I is what they are saying. And when these aircraft are located there, they will initially require a phenomenal amount of airspace for training the initial lot of crew in just circuits and landing. So circuits, landing and takeoff are critical operations which requires enormous amount of airspace for a big aircraft like that, which has a large turning radius. So in this climate, if you also have other civil aircraft flying in and out of Sri Perambudur, then you know that you are creating scenarios and situations for people who are involved in this business of flying. And also remember that Rajali has helicopter training school, and they train something like 15 to 20 pilots in each batch from the Navy, from the Coast Guard. And these people require dedicated airspace management to ensure that they are become proficient in landings, takeoffs, and carrying out various procedures which will equip them to fly helicopters not only from shore but also from ships. So the Navy has critical requirements, and to introduce another airfield and also load up the airspace with additional aircraft is perhaps asking for disaster to happen. So it's a little serious, and we need to look at all the issues related before we say we'll go ahead with the Greenfield airfield.
Right, right, Commodore Vasan. That was in fact the facts of the case. But Commodore Vasan, coming back to you again, if this matter does in fact goes to the Ministry of Defence, which it will, the Navy will in fact go to the Ministry of Defence to give their reservations about it, what are going to be the specifics of this particular case that's going to be presented, especially knowing the fact that the Airports Authority of India seems to be really desperate to get this project moving?
No, obviously it would mean sharing the same space, as I said earlier. It's a limited airspace. Geographically, they are not separated from each other. When you look at the lateral and vertical separations, it's not much that there is between Arakonam and Sri Perambudur. So when you have this kind of a scenario where so many aircraft are going to fly, and in fact in the case of Navy there will also be under trainee pilots who would be carrying out their flying at the solo stage. Though all this would have been cleared to a particular level, in case of emergent situation they will require all the space that they have. The AI may have their own reasons for clearing this, but I think there is greater requirement for analyzing all the aspects of how this airspace would be shared, what are the additional technological requirements for managing all these aircraft in a common wind tunnel as if it were, and therefore there is a need to relook at what AAA have cleared. The Airport Authority of India may have cleared it, saying that yes, there are these procedures that are available, but it is a question of whether Sri Perumbudur is an ideal spot for this particular airfield. Also remember that a lot of money has already been sanctioned for developing the Madras International Airfield. An alternate runway was being developed, and they also had acquired some additional area at more than 1,000 crores, and many of the people had been given compensation. So if all this is already being done in the Chennai International Airfield, where is the need to duplicate? Maybe you can spend a little more money and ensure that the present international airfield, which is located near Nungambakam, is so much more better equipped. So it is all the question of what we do with the airspace and how we manage the intensity of traffic that's going to go up. Just yesterday or day before, there was a news report to say that Indigo are going to acquire 150 more aircraft. So likewise, other private operators are going to acquire many more aircraft, and the airspace is going to be cluttered, particularly during the critical phases of landing and takeoff. As it is, passengers have had to report at airports 1 hour before, and the checking times are becoming more and more. So air travel, instead of becoming easier, is going to get more and more complicated with these kind of additional restrictions that will come into play because of the requirement to manage so many aircraft in a limited airspace. A situation well avoidable in my opinion.
Well, in fact, let's just go across to Captain Mohan Ranganathan, who is also there with us. Now, Captain Ranganathan, of course, aviation experts are unhappy, environmentalists are crying foul, the Navy, of course, is seeing red. What is the Airport Authority of India thinking?
I won't pay too much attention to the green signal given by Airport Authority of India. After all, they gave the green signal for Mangalore and Calicut, which in my opinion do not conform to many standards required by ICAO. And we've already had one major accident in Mangalore. So AI gives the clearance based on their political patronage. So they only take the decision to please someone who's in power. I would rather go by what ICAO gives. If they give the green signal, then I would say that it conforms to standards.
Right. Captain Ranganathan, in fact, point taken, but the very fact that even the ICAO report has been delayed, doesn't that mean in itself that there are issues related to the airport? Why is the Airports Authority of India at such finding itself so much lacking to at least have basic foresight despite seeing smoke signals coming?
The ICAO will go strictly by what is mentioned in the ICAO SAPs, what is called the standards and recommended practices. So if whatever they require does not conform to that, they are not going to give a green signal just to please a government or an individual. For that matter, the Transport Canada and ICAO project on Navi Mumbai Airport, I don't think they've given a clean chit as is being claimed by several agencies. So unless ICAO is satisfied that all the safety standards are met for this airport and it doesn't violate any of the ICAO standards, I don't think they will give a green signal.
Right, Captain Ranganathan. Now, we've discussed problems here, of course, problems plenty with this proposal itself. But how can the current airport, according to you, I mean, this is one lesson that even the AII can learn if it does, in fact, get the green signal to go ahead. What is one lesson they can, in fact, learn from the problems?
50% capacity. If we look at the ICAO requirements, they need only about 4 miles, 5 miles separation between aircrafts for operation. What we find in Chennai and several airports in India, the radar controllers keep you at least 10 to 15 miles apart. So you're not even utilizing the airspace that is available today. One of the reasons is that the way the runway occupancy is handled. The runways are not maintained to the required standards. So because of that, the aircraft stay a little longer since the braking action is poor. So if they had the runways designed properly and maintained properly, you can speed up the operation in Chennai to double the capacity, and you can make do with a single runway, because we do not have the kind of air traffic that they are projecting just to please the people in power.
Right, of course, a lot of questions there. In fact, Captain Mohan Ranganathan and Commodore Vasan, thanks a lot, both you gentlemen, for joining us here on Headlines Now. A lot of questions still remain unanswered about how exactly Airports Authority of India decides to go about or is planning to go about with this project, which everyone, right from environmentalists to the Indian Navy to even aviation experts, are up in arms against. It's been termed a futile exercise by all those who know the basics of aviation in this country. On this note, we'll slip into a very short break, but up on the other side, it's raining mosquitoes all over Chennai this rainy season. And our Madras Day special, we show you a school left to rot for a reason you've heard 1,000 times before. Stay with us.